Before I start disassembling this brake, let me know in the comments section why you think drum brakes are almost, not quite, they're still in a few models, but they're almost obsolete on new cars and light trucks. This type of drum brake is called a dual servo, which means during braking, one brake shoe will help the other brake shoe. For example, when this car is moving forward, it's in that direction, the brake drum is moving counterclockwise, and when the brakes are applied, this brake shoe will help this brake shoe during braking, and because of that, the braking force, 70% of the braking force is from this secondary shoe. And if you can notice, I'm not sure you can see it, but the friction material on this brake shoe is less than the friction material on this brake shoe, and that's because this brake shoe is really applying most of the braking force. In that situation, this is called the primary shoe and this is called the secondary shoe, and when you're going backwards, the roles are reversed. This becomes the primary shoe and this becomes the secondary shoe. This is called a brake spring tool, and the hardest springs to deal with on a drum brake are the ones that connect to this anchor point. And at the end of the arms of this tool are two tools used for removing and installing these springs, and I'll just go ahead and show you. It's easier just to show you how they work. You press this over the end of this spring, rotate it to grab it, and pull it off of the anchor, and then to put it back on, you would use this other arm, and you would grab it like this and stretch it to put it back on the anchor. And then this part of the tool is used for these weaker springs. You just kind of grab them and stretch them and put them into place. So, and then there's one other tool I want to talk about. This is a spring compressor tool, and there's two different size ends to it, and these fit under these hold down springs, or fit over these hold down springs, so you can press the spring, turn this this outer piece here that is shaped a certain way that it holds the spring into place, and you need to turn it to get the whole thing off, and that's what this tool is used for. And then of course you have, I think I showed this in the other video, this is a adjusting spoon, and this is for adjusting this this adjuster screw here at the bottom, and you would reach it from the back side of the backing plate. Alright, so now let's get this thing apart. Oops, it just came off by itself. And then it's hard to see. It's definitely an improvement with this new light I'm using, but there's a lot of shadows. There's one of the hold down springs. And there's the adjusting screw. And take these out. And now I'm ready to clean up, and I'm going to replace this wheel cylinder thing. To replace this wheel cylinder, I'm going to need to remove this flexible brake line, and just undo this and remove the hard brake line. And remove this clip. And this comes out. Then I can break it free from the cylinder with this 9/16 wrench. And then unscrew it. And I can't believe how good these flexible brake lines are. It looks like there's maybe a little leaking here, but I don't see any cracks or breaks in the line after all these years. In the back of this backing plate are the two bolts that hold on the wheel cylinder, and already broken loose. Not sure I'm going to be able to get this one without moving. I had to use a swivel socket on that one to break it loose. Really tight fit. There's one out. To move. And now just use a pry bar. I can't break this loose with my hand. There you go. And we'll install a new one. Before I install the new brake cylinder, I want to clean out this backing plate. Spray it down, and thought I had a brush. Here's a brush I can use to scrape off as much of this as I can, the rust and crap. With this cleaned off now, I can reinstall the new wheel cylinder. bolt that into place. Then I need to reinstall the flexible brake line. I've got a new brass washer for it, and we're going to do this off camera because I don't have much room to work. Now with the flexible brake line installed on the master cylinder or wheel cylinder, and reattach this to the other end and clip it into place. That's done. Now I'm ready to start to reassemble the brake shoes and everything. The first step is you want to lubricate certain parts of the brake, but you want to only use anti-seize, or they make special brake grease now. You don't want to use regular like wheel grease. So start off with wipe some of this. I'm using anti-seize on the anchor. Then you want to put it on these pads where the brake shoes rest. And then you want to put the lubricant on these adjusting screws for the brake shoes. This part, and then on the threads. And then that part's done. Now the next step is clean your hands, get all the grease and stuff off your hands. And I want to put these pieces back into the wheel cylinder. Position them, and then we're ready to oh, I've got the hold down springs. Need these things placed through the back of the backing plate. Then we can install our brake shoes. And remember I said the primary shoe, because this is a dual servo, the primary shoe is going to be in the front. This is the front of the car, and the secondary shoe is going to be in the back. And you can tell the difference between the two because the secondary shoe has a lot more friction material. So this is your secondary shoe, the back shoe, and this is the front shoe. And then that just goes holding spring pin goes through the brake shoe. Brake shoe's got to go into this thing. It sits kind of like that. And then this piece goes on the spring. And I need the spring tool. It's just a matter of finding the slot like that. Then we can do the secondary shoe. It's hard trying to do this left-handed when I'm right-handed, but there you go. Now part of the self-adjusting part of the brake includes this piece, which sits right there, and we can put this spring on to help hold it in place. And like that. And then the cable part of the self-adjusting mechanism fits right here, goes through this piece, sits like that. And then this piece, this spring, goes over here. I'll put that in next. Put this one on first. This one goes through here. Like that. And then this one goes on. Like that. And then what's next? Oh, put the adjusting screw in. And this piece fits in here like so. And this piece fits, I think it's here. I can't remember. I think it's here. Like that. Everything looks okay except the cable isn't on. There it goes. And then I'm going to have to spread this out, so this is all going to tighten up when I start to move this adjusting screw. There's another tool you can use to help you with drum brakes. It's called a brake resetting gauge. And what it does is you just take a measurement of the width of the inside of the brake drum, and you get that measurement, you lock the gauge into place to hold on to that width, that measurement. And then you can use this to adjust your brake shoes before you put the brake drum on, and it just makes it easier, I think. So now that we have the inside measurement of the brake drum, we can use the other side of this brake gauge and get the proper width for our brake shoes by adjusting the adjusting screw to widen it. It's went a little too far. But it's a lot easier to adjusting the screw with that brake drum off than it is trying to do it from the other side with the brake drum on. So and I'm probably going to have to fiddle with it again before I get the right fit. So that looks about right for now. So I'm ready to install the hub and the brake drum. I've already packed the bearings, and it's a little too tight. That feels right. Bearing back in, outer bearing, washer, and nut. Another way that you can adjust the brake shoes is you put the drum back on and then you get in the back with your brake adjusting spoon lever thing, this thing. Tighten it up till the brake shoes tightened up the drum, and then back it off about 10 to 15 clicks, and that should put it right where you want it. So now I'm ready to adjust this adjusting nut, and the way you do that is I'm going to tighten it to 20 foot-pounds. While turning this right there. Then I'm going to back it off a half a turn. It's about right there. And then I'm going to tighten it to 15 foot-pounds. Which is right there. Now, you can put this back on. And put the cotter pin back in. I'm reusing the old cotter pin because I don't have the right size. And we are done. Thanks for watching.